Are you paying too much in taxes? Elevated Tax and Accounting is a firm that specializes in tax planning and strategy to minimize your tax bill. Elevated Tax consult with you on tax strategy throughout the year, so no more waiting until the end of the year and hoping for the best. As a business owner, you know your sole focus should be spent working on your business, not in it. Outsourcing gives you the time to concentrate on the core reasons you started your company, to create and innovate a top-tier product and generate profits. Elevated Tax and Accounting, elevating you and your business with a modern professional touch.
Driving along on the highway and you've been hit by a semi-truck. Now what do? You call your Montana attorneys, Ryan and Miller. We have the expertise to help guide you along in these specific types of accidents. So these are the 3 steps that you need to follow. Number 1, make sure that the police are called and that there is a report of the accident. Second, make sure that you're getting the medical attention that you need and following up with your doctor. Third, do not talk to an insurance company until you've talked to an attorney. They are not going to help you protect your rights, and you want to make sure that you know all that you're entitled to. Contact an attorney today by clicking the link below.
I remember, talking on like sidelines in the football season, being like, "Hey, this group could be pretty good." But at what point was there a point in the season that you kind of realized, like, yeah, I'm really liking what we have here?
We had moments. That might not necessarily all into Griz. But I started feeling good when the Northridge came at home. That was a defensive win. I knew we had guys that could score the ball, but I didn't know if we could defend, if we could handle a scout on a short turnaround. And that was a scout defensive game. We went away from some of our normal tendencies defensively in order to take a couple guys out of the game, and we executed that about as well as we have all up to this point. But that was the night where I felt we've got a chance to be a pretty good team.
Being alone in first place, how do you address that with players on the team who've never been in this position before?
I don't. We talked championships early in the year about wanting to be able to compete for them. You lose some games, you're playing from behind. You catch up, and then once you catch up, the conversations are here now. The race has started today, which that was the Friday morning out over Colorado. At that point, we don't discuss it anymore. You're trying to win every game at this point. So the statement to the guys on that Friday was every game before the championship game. We've got to treat them all that way. Don't look back, just look forward at your next game.
Whether you won or lost the first game against teams, you guys are undefeated the second time through. So what do you attribute that to?
I think the biggest thing is just we've grown. Second half of conference, we've been a better basketball team overall. I think our guys have done a good job of paying close attention to detail. So when we find things that may have cost us a game or that could give us a better chance second time around, they've done a really good job of executing those things.
When it comes to preparing for this one, you guys took advantage of some stuff against Montana State last time. Do you expect them to tweak some of that stuff, and how do you sort of play the chess match?
Yeah, you don't live in the past. And so, yeah, we take note of things that worked, but we find other things that maybe we didn't take advantage of or didn't do a good job of executing. How can we get better? For us, since that game, we've improved in those areas. So I think if we just continue to play the way we've been playing offensively, we'll be fine on that side of the ball, and then defensively, we've got to be more physical.
3 or 4 weeks ago, they moved Jay Mullins off the ball and started playing Napier and Miller at the 1 more often. How does that change them when they play different guys on the ball at point guard?
6-man.
Right.
And I think it's very similar to our change. And you've got a very good offensive player coming off that can play in a lot of different spots, whether it's with the ball in his hands or off. What I see is a young man that's pretty familiar with playing that where he's at right now, because it's more similar to where he played in high school on the wing along with Patterson. So maybe he's more in his comfort zone right now.
Philosophically, we've seen that the last couple of years where really talented guys are being brought off the bench. Raekwon Battle, Money Williams, Jay Mullins. What do you think of just that dynamic, and why is that an advantage for guys like that?
Sometimes it's what's best for the group in terms of who's playing with who. Maybe you run different offense with certain guys on the floor. Some of it's that. Sometimes guys could benefit from watching the first 3 to 4 minutes of play and getting a feel for what's going on out there, officiating, defensively, what the opponent's doing, or they just may settle in. Everyone's different. And I think all the circumstances that you just named have been pretty different from each other as well. But there are benefits, but they've got to be confident enough and selfless enough to be willing to make the most of that, which we got that in the first half with Kai Johnson. And we're doing that right now.
Like Coulter mentioned some of the changes, but obviously they're really good at home too, and the crowd's been pretty packed there too. So what is it about them playing at home versus the road that they've been able to maybe have some more consistency versus road games?
We all play a little better at home. Just you weather storms better, and you have it behind you that will cheer for you when things are hard, or you make a play. The crowd gets behind you and creates a shift in momentum. There's a lot of that, and there's also the fact that you swept a little bit. So, the guys have more routine when they're home, which I'm gonna guess that's them. They're a lot more aggressive defensively at home. It's gonna be important for us to have our best basketball.
You're predicting the most popular question, so I'll go ahead and ask it. A lot of ancillary things around this game, obviously, in terms of, there's a record that can be tied, there's, state pride, all these things. When it's the second go-around, is it easier for guys maybe to settle in, knowing that, they've seen what the first round was? And I guess, how do you guys block out all that noise and get it done?
I think the second time around is easier when you're at home. On the road, the crowd can be nasty. And so the home game isn't prepared for that. So I would say the home game would be easier in a rivalry like this one. I think the benefit of our non-conference schedule helps. Playing at Tennessee, playing at Utah State. Utah State's probably got one of the toughest student body crowds in the country. And so for us to go and play and weather through that is a sign that we'll be fine.
When you think of the road games you guys have had this year, obviously the 2 conference losses were on the road. Where have you seen this team maybe dial it in more in these road games and take some things? You went to split. I forgot North Colorado was here. Just where have you seen you guys improve maybe on some of these road games, especially in this latter half?
Well, to me, our road record, you look at overall season, right? You got to look at our opponents. So we're no longer playing top 25 teams. So if you take those 4 road games out of our road record, then it would be a lot better. So I think we've been good. Slow start, we're better now. We had a tough loss at St. Thomas. We thought we let get away from us a very good basketball team. We made a lot of mistakes that you typically make early in the season, in November, December. And I don't think we're making right now. So hopefully we're a better basketball team.
Is it, will you marry me in your future? Or maybe you do it all over again. Hi, I'm Brian Toon with Jewelry Design Center, inviting you to come see the largest selection of Will You Marry Me in the state of Montana. The brightest diamonds of every shape and size, unique settings built to last, and skilled jewelers on site offering free sizing and maintenance for life, because that's how long we want to be your jeweler. Jewelry Design Center in Missoula, on Brooks, across from the Montana.
Join Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any Town Pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.
Coach Logie pointed to point guard play as such a huge differentiator. I know that you're a big proponent of that as well, especially this time of year. How big of an impact has that had on, especially you guys in Northern Colorado, with the steadiness you have at that position?
When did he say that?
He said it to me a couple days ago.
After he made a change.
After he made a change.
I didn't think you needed one of those. No, to have a floor general, to have someone that has an understanding of what it is you're looking for, can execute it. I think the most important thing of having point guard play is point of attack. They can draw a second defender, which makes offense easier for the others, and they should be able to contain the other point guard, contain the ball at the point of attack on the defensive side of the ball. So if you have that, then you always have a good opportunity to win, regardless to the rest of the time.
Being the historian of the game that you are and of this place, what does it mean to you to be on the precipice of going into the record books here?
It means I've had good players. It means I have a good staff. I've had good staff members that have been with us prior. I think when you talk leadership, right, if you surround yourself with leaders, you'll be successful as a leader. And I think I've done that. This isn't me pursuing a record. It's our staff pursuing a record. It's everyone that's been on the staff for past 11 years. They've let it roll. And so I think all have been in pursuit of this. I think the most important piece to where I am with this right now is before me. I wouldn't be in a situation if Tim doesn't recruit me and Stu doesn't start off as my first coach in my first year here. If I don't spend those 6 years like the government. So really this is a result of the coaching tree placing a former player that has been experienced coaching within the tree in the seat. And so this could be another one of the former coaches.
Joe, in his 1 year here, we talked about this before, but obviously being a father, you've experienced first with Moody and now him. Just why has he been able to kind of assimilate and have the impact he's had kind of moving across the country here? But then also, just what does he bring in his life experience? Add anything to maybe some of these younger guys that's maybe helped his teams here?
I think comfort. I think he's a lot more comfortable here than some other places he's been, whether it's a relationship with staff, the players. I think where this program is right now is a lot different than some other places, and those are winning programs that he's been at. But not all programs fit all people, and I think that's a mistake that we make as coaches and as student athletes as we select one another. Sometimes it's not a great fit, and talent isn't always what makes a situation different. And I think for Joe, the things that he was looking for, the things that he needed to continue to grow and have a positive experience, we're here. We're benefiting from it more than he is, though. And I think for us, we need leadership. We need someone that doesn't necessarily talk the game, but play the game. And when I say that, I'm talking show to practice every day, be coached. Assume responsibility when you make mistakes, be okay with being corrected. And when you feel like there's guys on the team that might not be in the mood to get better and work, acknowledge it, and they will accept it and improve with you. And so I think that's the biggest thing is we've got a young man in the program that will run through a wall for his teammates and with his teammates, and there's no question that they'll follow through.
Could you just go back to the recruiting Joe to come here, how that went down? And if I remember, he was pretty late in the recruiting process for you guys, maybe one of the last guys you brought in.
The transfer situation, you might reach out to 50 kids, get 15 of them to campus, and get 2. And so it's a wide net, and he was in the net, and there was some communication, and then towards the end of it, there was no communication, and we were pretty much done with our recruitment. And Anderson Clark, who recruited him, continued to have some dialogue with him, and we realized that there was still an opportunity to get him here, even though we had finalized our last year for the most part. So once we came to that conclusion, we jumped into Zoom and we had a conversation and realized that it'd be a great fit. And so how do we make that happen? And so for us, he was willing to do the things on his part to make it happen.
And then how did it come about that he's got another year of eligibility to play?
It's just a ride. It's a trade.
Obviously, I have a lot of transfers this year. When it comes to some of these guys playing in the Big Sky for the first time, experiencing rivalries like Griz for the first time, how have you seen them go into that?
I think they were excited the first time around. They heard about, what the crowd would be like, and they felt the energy. So I think it creates a level of excitement. But I think the first time around, they really did not know exactly what it was they were getting into. Now they know. Now they have a better feel for that. This time, they will be loved. They'll be hated. And so hopefully they'll be able
Cash One Pawn has the most extensive inventory of any pawn shop in western Montana. Whether you're in the market for firearms, power tools, bows, video game consoles, or sunglasses, Cash One Pawn has the best deals around. And now Cash One Pawn gives you the ability to shop online from anywhere. Make CashOnePawn.com part of your shopping habits. Also make sure to download the Cash One Pawn app. Cash One Pawn, Missoula's premier pawn shop located on Roller Coaster Road on the way to the Y.